Hamas rejects Israel's offer of a week-long truce. During this time, the terrorists had to return about 40 hostages, including women and children. According to the Wall Street Journal, citing Egyptian officials, the militants believe that the IDF must first stop fighting and withdraw from the Gaza Strip. The Israeli side does not agree to such conditions. The country's prime minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, said the war will end when Hamas is destroyed and all hostages are freed. An article in the Wall Street Journal says the Palestinian group opposes any deal until the IDF withdraws from Gaza and releases all Palestinian prisoners. Tel Aviv does not agree to such conditions. In a televised address to the nation, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu stated that any truce would be only temporary, and the war would end only when Hamas was eliminated and all hostages were released. Whoever thinks that we will stop is detached from reality. We will not stop fighting until all of our goals are achieved: the destruction of Hamas, the release of our hostages, and the elimination of the threat from Gaza. All Hamas terrorists, from the first to the last, are the walking dead. They have only two options: surrender or die, Netanyahu emphasized. The Israeli military is going to conduct a series of ground, air and sea operations against terrorists in the area of the city of Khan Yunis. In order to avoid large civilian casualties, Tel Aviv is making public maps covering approximately 20% of Khan Yunis, showing evacuation zones. The ground operation is ongoing. The north of the Gaza Strip is approximately 90% under Israeli control. Israel continues to develop the operation in the south of Gaza towards Khan Yunis, and what we call the Central Gaza Brigade. It was not yet fully engaged there either. Now they have already started working on it. At the same time, actions are being taken to release the hostages, says military expert Mark Babbitt, lieutenant colonel of the Israeli General Staff in reserve. In addition to Hamas militants, Israel is also engaged in hostilities with another neighboring terrorist group in Lebanon, Hezbollah. Terrorists fired at Israeli territory again. In response, the IDF deployed fighter jets that attacked the operational command center of Hezbollah in Lebanon. There is an understanding that something needs to be done with Hezbollah, or there will be a political solution, when Hezbollah will be forced to withdraw from the border, and the state of Lebanon, which is difficult to call a state, will come in and play a role in everything related to the control of the territories of its own border. Or the Israeli army will have to take large-scale actions to defeat Hezbollah and change the situation. Apparently, it will all be decided after the main phase ends in Gaza, says military observer David Sharp. Despite Hamas' rejection of Israel's proposal to introduce a week-long truce, experts have already noted a decrease in the intensity of rocket attacks. The number of shelling has been radically reduced in recent weeks and days because, most likely, Israel is reaching the largest missile sites in Gaza, from where the rockets are launched. By the way, today most of the rockets, if not all, are launched from the perimeter where the evacuated civilians, non-involved, residents of Gaza who elected Hamas are concentrated, and the shelling is coming from there, Mark Babbitt emphasizes. At a press conference, U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said that Washington expects Tel Aviv to transition military operations into a phase of less activity, during which more targeted operations focused on the leadership of Hamas will be conducted. Please like and subscribe to our channel to be the first to know all the important news.